This is Hog Farmer Chris from the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation. And before you start listening to Red Zone in the Lab, check out our Amazon Smile, a simple way to support the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation every time you shop, and it's no cost to you.
Welcome to a brand new season of the Red Zone in the Lab podcast, where nothing is off the table. We will be discussing entrepreneurship, education, Black history, health, movies, family, and of course, sports. So do yourself a favor, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on all social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And of course, you can always visit us at redzoneinTheLab.com.
Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast, man. I am Deuce. We got DT, CeeLo, and Breeze. Jesus Christ. And Breeze in the building today, man. This is Misery Monday. The Commanders are now 7-6-1 with a loss to the New York Football Giants on yesterday, Sunday Night Football at Fedex Field. The place was rocking. The place was electric. It was filled. Even in the nosebleeds, it was a heck of an environment. But we did not show up putting 12 points on the board. DT, what's good with you, man?
What's going on, man? A chance to showcase our talent once again on national TV. A chance to take command, no pun intended. A chance to take command on a chance to seek an opportunity to, win games, win more than 7, get 8 wins under Ron Rivera, playing a New York Giants team that, didn't have the same expectations we have. And we just didn't show up, man. I don't get it. The bye week can help you, but it can hurt you at the same time. And we all heard the saying, the momentum was very different. The game started out kind of the same way for us. We get a drive in and stuff, but we don't finish. And the Giants took most of the opportunities that we didn't have and didn't execute on, and they got the win. End of the story. And we'll go and dive in a little bit more deeper about what happened.
Yeah. Breeze.
Oh, man. What's good, fellas? What's good? That's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow. I mean, most definitely a winnable football game. And obviously, we'll like you said, we'll dive into it. But it was definitely a winnable football game, and me being a former player, former coach, a current coach, I can take getting outplayed and losing to the better team that night. The fact that I feel like the game was impacted in other ways that weren't the players and coaches is not sitting right with me. But it is what it is. We're still alive for the playoffs as it currently stands. So we control our destiny, best foot forward, and see what we can do.
Man, CeeLo, how you feeling, man? How your stomach feeling, man? You feeling all right, man?
It's tough when you go to the game. You get up and work in the morning, and after the loss, it's like, don't nobody talk to me right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a long day. It's just a long day. So that's my feeling, Deuce. It's just been a long day.
That's crazy, man. All right, man. So let's sum up the whole game. What we saw immediately after the game, outside of, oh man, I'm Giants fans, man. Man, that walk up the bleachers, when it's only you walking up the bleachers and the away team is still like sitting in the bleachers waving to you, that's one of the worst. That's one of the worst feelings. But all in all, DT, immediately after the game, what was your first reaction? What was your first gut reaction to the game?
My first reaction to the game was like, really just the offense. Like, I understand the defense has some little fits and things like that, but mainly the offense, man. Once again, like they're not scoring points when we need to score points. And we had conversations in the group chat and a couple times on Spaces stuff on Twitter if y'all follow us. But one of the main concerns I had about this style of play, run heavy, play action type of offense, is the error to be perfect is so slim. Like, you have to be perfect every Sunday. And for the second time against this team, we were not perfect. We were hurting ourselves. We were shooting ourselves in the foot, where it was play calling, where it was bad reads, where it was penalties, especially the penalties. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. But at the end of the day, man, like, this stuff is hindering the offense that's already limited when it comes to offensive line play. And let's face it, quarterback play. I mean, Taylor, to me, he didn't have the greatest game, but he didn't have the worst game. It was a Taylor-like game. But I think those things are still boggling in my mind when I'm looking at other teams and looking at the Giants. They didn't really do much. I mean, they just took advantage of the opportunities that we didn't make.
CeeLo, what was your immediate reaction?
Why us? That was it. That was my reaction, man. Why us? You know, some things, you know how they give you those stats before the game and they say, oh, you know, New York Giants are, what is it? 97-25, right? You know, so whatever the you know, the record is. And apparently over the course of history, the Giants have had our number, right? So for some reason, the Giants have our number, bro. Like, I know we swept them last year. That first game was, you know, we all remember that. But man, for some reason, man, the Giants show up against us, bro. At least in my lifetime. And then, and it didn't matter the coach, it didn't matter the system, it doesn't matter players. For some reason, they show up against us. And that's what it was. I'm like, why us? That's my immediate reaction, because the night was set up perfectly for this team. You had a bye week. It's the same team you played before the bye week. You're healthy. They ain't that good, right? They injured all over the place. It's like, it's Sunday night. It's at home. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot script it better than that. So I left the game like, why us? That was my immediate reaction.
How did you lead the game, Breeze?
My immediate reaction was a collection of words that I can't say on here right now. But
like,
yeah, man, it was. Yeah, but for a lot of the same reasons that CeeLo and DT already said, like, the night was set up perfect. You got the crowd you asked for. Like, the atmosphere was set. It was hype. Everything was set. Like, we talked about this a few days ago. Even like we know what we need to do to succeed. Everything was laid out, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like, refused to run the ball when we could have run the ball, not hitting on passes that were there, penalties whether warranted or not. Once they get thrown, they are what they are. You know what I mean? It's like everything that could, missing extra points and PA, like everything that went wrong could have went wrong, and it was yeah, man. Like, pretty much to censor it. To censor my initial reaction, it's basically like CeeLo said, why us? Like, I can't. It was tough. And then having to make that walk back to the car, like,
oh, it was so cold. My feet were about to fall,
feet were freezing. Like, oh my god,
bro.
It was terrible, man. My immediate reaction was, man, I actually put all my confidence in this team for this game. That was my immediate reaction, man. And I was so hurt that I did it. And I haven't done that in years, probably a couple decades, when the last time I actually put all my confidence in this team. Everything was set up for us to win. I mean, the Cowboys lost in dramatic fashion. Seahawks lost last week. The Lions almost gave it up, but they pulled it out. Man, everything lined up for us to win this game, man. We did not win. So my reaction was, I put all my confidence in this team. That's just as simple as that, man. Let's go over some surprise stats, man. Something from the outcome overall at the end of the game. You looked at the stat sheet, you were like, what in the world? Like something like that. We'll start with you, Breeze. What's a stat that you kind of looked at and was like, man, I can't believe this what happened.
Brian Robinson touched the ball 4 times in the second half. And
Look at these teams.
I mean, like we can all agree that we know what the formula to success for this season is, right?
Yep.
So make it make sense. I mean, that's the one that sticks out. Like once I saw that, and like I actually saw it on paper, I was like,
couldn't believe
we know the limitations of our offense, of our quarterback situation. Yeah, we keep trying to force him to win games for us, in clutch situations. When we for the most part can agree and understand what the winning formula is. It's just, yeah.
ET, make these stats make sense, man.
I'm gonna tell you a stat, and this is absolutely crazy. Both teams combined 3 of 20 on third down. And
Really?
Yep. And the Giants had ridiculous. Cannot stay on the field for nothing.
That's it. That's the dramatic pause.
Y'all can gain for that. Y'all can gain from that. We were 1 of 10 on third down.
1 of 10.
1 of 10. And they were 2 of 10.
And it wasn't like it was behind the chains either. I mean, these is manageable third downs.
Yeah.
That was the crazy part, man. All right, CeeLo, you got a stat for us?
You know what surprised me? Running for 159 yards. I know, I don't know. I saw that. Someone said it and I looked it up. I'm like, wow. It didn't feel like we ran for that many yards. Because if you combine that with the time of possession, it was almost even. It's like 30 minutes each, something like that. So I think to me that was a little surprising because the way that we were moving the ball, it felt like it was harder than it looked. And so I don't know. I just felt like we didn't have that much control of the game because from my vantage point in the seats, I'm like, yo, these Giants look kind of good. I mean, like Daniel Jones wasn't touched. He was sacked 0 times. That's another interesting stat. 0 times he was sacked. Yeah. When he did have an opportunity to drop back, when they dropped him back, he would just find the open man, open a guy. Open guy caught the ball first down or mid game, whatever. I was just like 159 yards and even time possession to me was interesting. And I don't know. I thought that was something to take a look at.
5 carries for 1 yard.
I was just about to. That
sounds familiar. Can you care to tell folks who that is?
5 carries for 1 yard, and most of those carries were handoffs in the middle of the field from Curtis Samuel.
It's not even a running back.
I think Keith told me he did have one jet sweep. I don't remember it.
No, that was De'Ami Brown that had one. I don't think Curtis had one.
Yeah, man, but
which was that De'Ami Brown was nice.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that was an end around. De'Ami Brown joint was an end around. That was a reverse or whatever. But,
I got you.
But the times that we ran him, it just did not make sense. Like it's 3rd and 4, and you have a running back that has proved to you month after month that even though we have a trash O-line and they can't block, I can still get you 6 to 7 yards by just pulling people for 5 of those yards. There's no way Brian Robinson should not have got at least 3 of those 5 carries that Samuel got.
Is it maybe Curtis has some kind of contract instead of a something? I don't know. Like they were insisting on giving that man a ball under or from under center from shotgun. It was completely odd how much they kept giving him the ball. And they were keying on him easy. They were like, "Oh, okay, they were giving the ball. we about to we gotta blow this dude up." It was crazy.
It wasn't like pre-snap motions or nothing. It was just straight handoff.
He was the primary back. He was the tailback. He was right there, ready to get the ball. I don't understand.
It was like every time it was a touch going to him, they were ready for it.
Yep.
Like they were one doing film study, and we did adjust to it. I would much rather give those carries to B-Rob or even Gibson, motion Gibson around.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather give some of them carries to Jonathan Williams. Curtis Samuel don't need.
He needs situational jet sweep type carries, man, with some motions and pre-snap with the running back in the game.
Yeah.
Like the running back should be in the game, because if he's solely the running back, then more than likely he's going to get the ball. But hey, I don't get paid the big bucks.
Is Curtis 200 pounds? I mean,
190.
190.
Golly.
And he already got smacked on that one place. So
he got low.
I know he woke up this morning in pain, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's on that. If he's in protocol, they got a phone call or something to check on him or something. Because man, he got smacked, man. He got smacked.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't come about the game, because he took him a minute to get up.
Yeah, it took him. He was like,
he got smacked, man.
Do you sit back and say, man, these walls just need something? Feel like it's time to freshen up your place with something new? If your answer is yes, then it's time to call Rob of Lewis Paints Plus, the accent wall expert. Rob will even give you a free estimate on how he can transform those boring walls in your home. To book today, call 240-418-5241 or reach out on Instagram at Lewis Paints Plus. And for 10% off, tell him Red Zone sent you.
We lost this game, and we only put 12 points on the board. We only gave up one touchdown on defense, a field goal. We gave up the defensive touchdown on a sack fumble. What are a couple keys, Breeze, from the game which contributed to the loss?
I can't say not coming into the game with what I feel like was a complete game plan. Like, they seemed very ill prepared coming into the game, and you know, a lot of the stuff we just talked about, like trying to rely on, you know, Curtis at the primary running back and stuff like that. Like, I don't, you know, Scott Turner is falling back into his getting too cute phase. Stuff like it's that kind of stuff hurts. Like, we can move the ball in between the 20s to an extent, and then we get to the red zone, and you know, nothing. Like, we can't do anything. Like, the play calling, the play design, the play execution, everything is terrible. Like, I mean, that's it's going to remain a key for me, even in wins. Like, you know, the same way that we've been winning games in spite of Taylor Heineke, a lot of ways we've been winning them in spite of Scott Turner too. That's really just a big thing that sticks out to me. And then penalties, again, whether warranted or unwarranted, a flag is a flag at the end of the day, as far as it pertains to the box score. You know what I mean? So penalties killed us last night. You know, whether it was the 2-point conversion, the touchdown, the no call on the PI in the end zone, stuff like that, man. It's just, you know.
It's crazy, man. CeeLo.
Yeah, I was going to kind of go there as well. I think the thing that surprised me was being ill prepared and the lack of attention to detail, and it goes across the board, right? So let's take the Terry penalty off the table for a second, but like everything else, the holding, the false start, I think the defense actually played a pretty clean game. I don't know. I got to go back and check, but
they were pretty decent for the most part.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, man, this is not the type of team that Ron Rivera coaches, right? I'm used to, you know, a Ron Rivera coach team to be very, you know, very precise, very on it. at least we're gonna get out the blocks, everybody lined up right, blah blah blah. You got a tight end that doesn't know where out of bounds is, right? You got a situationally not aware of things. It just felt very ill prepared coming off of a bye week and playing for a coach that traditionally prides itself on being on point, having guys ready to go and playing fairly clean football. 6 penalties, man, that's crazy. So let's say 5. Take off the Terry thing. So I mean, that's amazing. So that's the one thing that I think contributed to a lot of this. Because then at that point, you're behind the sticks. At that point, you start to play different football. We had unfortunately, we had the 2 turnovers and in some crazy situations that led to other things.
Mm-hmm.
So that really, it just reminds me like what else? Like what's going on here? If Ron can't promise you at least a clean game and guys ready to play on national TV and being, locked in, then what is he doing here? Because he ain't the X's and O's guy. He's the rah-rah. I'm gonna get you ready to go. I'm gonna have you focused. I'm gonna have you prepared to go forward. If you can't do that, then you really got to question, his role, because that's his strength.
And that's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks in a row too, right? Well, the
like
previous Giants game and this one.
Theoretically, you could make the case that there shouldn't be an easier game to game plan for.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a division rival. You just had a bye week and then have now playing a late game, and the last team you played prior to the bye week was the same team. You just tied the exact same thing. There should not be an easier game to game plan for than what we had last night. And
yep.
It wasn't that. So
DT is disgusted.
Man, I'm kind of like on CeeLo, man. Like we had a bye week, and basically, you actually have 4 weeks and basically prepare for this team. You had the prep week, they had the game. Then you have your bye week, and you're going against the same team once again. And you would think that the things that we did that we messed up on, we should have fixed. But it was almost like watching the same game over again. The only difference is we had 8 left points, right? And from that perspective, watching the game, it almost felt like watching when we played Philadelphia and we were the Eagles and they were Washington. Like a lot of things were happening almost the same way. Like we get a good drive in, kick field goal, then we turn the ball over twice in crucial moments when we're trying to take the lead or even tie it up. And it just kept feeling like the game was escaping us. And for the Rivera perspective, like we're supposed to be prepared, bro. Like the whole week we've been hearing like guys were dialed in, guys were treating us like a playoff game. But what happened? Like, no, who was the leader last night? Who set the tone? I mean, we know Allen, we know Terry, but who other than them guys, who else is going to step up when we need that moment to become the team that we want to be, not the team that we always expecting to be?
This is tough, man. Like like I said earlier, man, I've never had this much confidence, man. I was close to doing an Abby joint, man. That's how confident I was. But I was like, nope, not doing it. I got to dial it back in, man. But when we think about like where we are now, like we're in the 7th seed. You got the Lions and the Seahawks on our tails. Both of them are at 7-7. Of course, the Lions hold the tiebreaker over us because we lost to them in week 2. But moving now towards these last three games, what are your guys' predictions from these last 3 games than what it was prior to this game? Because mine has changed a little bit. Let's start with DT.
Well, because the 2 teams that you have one team in the Seattle that's kind of reeling, and then you have Detroit, who's just steadily been progressing the whole season. And that was a team that earlier before the season even started, I said this team is going to be a fun team to watch. So now we're in a situation where we're the 7th seed. At the season end of the day, we'll be playing Minnesota. And that's kind of the matchup that we kind of want in terms of how we played that team last time and we had our opportunities. But just looking at the Lions schedule and comparing our schedule in Seattle, we arguably have the hardest path to get into the playoffs. I mean, just looking at Seattle, they have Kansas City coming up, then they have the Jets, and then they end with the Rams. Meanwhile, you have the Lions, they play Panthers, Bears, Packers. Legit 11 win combined for those teams on that schedule. So your best bet, man, is you got to win 2 of the last 3 to go 9-7-1, because otherwise the Lions going to take it. I think the Lions have the biggest opportunity. Seattle, they got a tough road head like us, but we got to play ball, man. I mean, to me personally, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs, but you can never say never. This team might play better against the 49ers than anybody else. Now, mind you, Purdy hasn't faced a defense like ours yet, so we'll see, man. Me personally, I don't think we're gonna make it, bro.
Breeze.
It's so hard to predict with this team because you never know which team is going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we could get, like, we going to play San Francisco on Saturday. We can get the team that showed up and played Philly this year or played Tampa last year, or we can get a team that just showed up and tied and then lost to the New York Giants or got stomped by the Lions early in the season. Like, you never, or the Eagles. Like, you never know. It's so hard to predict because you don't know what you're going to get.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I feel like it seems like when we go into the game expecting one thing, we get the other. You know what I mean? We control our destiny, technically speaking. I think it's possible to win 2 out of 3 games. Whether it's likely is another conversation. I'll be a homer and I'll say we go 2 out of 3. But it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. Like, they need to come out in San Francisco with their heads on fire and hope that a few other teams in the league kind of get things to break the Commanders' way and get a little bit of help, but they don't need to, play complete lights out football, because as we all know at this point, playing flat out lights out football is not something that this team is likely to do. So my hope is 2 out of 3, but realistically, maybe 1 out of 3. But again, with this team, they can mess around and go 3-0 or 0-3. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know who's going to show up, man.
You never know, bro. Now you just.
All right, CeeLo, man. You see 2, you see 3, you see 0.
Yeah, I'm probably around 2. I feel okay, against Cleveland and Dallas, man. I think I said in the chat, man, they averaging 28 points per game, bro. That's just crazy to me. Like, we can't dream of 28 points right now. So now that's just stats. Things have changed within the division. We'll see. We talked about what team shows up. So yeah, running the football is going to be primary, but bro, we got to figure out this pass blocking situation, because you do have to throw sometimes. I'm not suggesting that we got to throw 45 times, but situationally. And we came out that second half throwing it. Y'all remember? We came out that second half. I don't think they may have had one run in that after the Giants punted.
Mm-hmm.
We may have had our possession after that. May have been one pass or run. So it just depends on how our offensive line shows up. Man, I feel like as they go, we go. It's crazy to think like that, but
It's the truth.
It just feels like they need to help us out here because we're gonna have to throw sometimes. We just can't run 100%, unfortunately. So that's all.
Yeah, man. I only see one game. I don't know where it's going to come from. I think that's the homer in me, like Bree said. I see one game. I don't know where it's going to come from. But what I do know is that we probably going to see 2019 Deshaun Watson in an hour game. That's probably what's going to happen. That's just going to be our luck. And that's the game we supposed to unveil the mascot, so we gonna have all that drama going on.
Oh,
so let's just hope they don't miss on that. It end up being like a mascot, be like a, I don't know, a wolf or something like that, man. So yeah, man, I see one game, man. I see 8 wins on this season, and it's gonna be bad in the off season, man.
It's gonna be just our luck. We're gonna mess around and beat San Francisco and Dallas by a combined 5 points and then lose to Cleveland by 30 or something like that. Right?
I guarantee watch 2019 Deshaun show up, watch.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna be just our luck, watch. It's gonna be just our luck, man.
There's a lot of bad stigma about shopping for a used car. Well, come visit us at iCargo Motors. We'll take care of you. We'll ensure that your experience is not only seamless and efficient, but also satisfying. Because at iCargo Motors, we believe that the best form of currency is integrity.
All right, man. So what's next? What's next from here, CeeLo? What do we do next? I know we got San Fran up next, but what do we need to do in order to try to get these 2-3 wins to end the season?
I think we gotta just buckle down and figure out who our identity is, man. We just need to focus on this next game. I just want to talk about San Francisco right now. I don't feel the greatest about San Francisco, but I want to focus on San Francisco because what can we do? They have a rookie 7th round, legitimate, like Mr. Irrelevant back there, feeling real good about himself.
No, you see him on the post game last week. My
man is like, I am it, and and he is me. Like he is out here feeling real nice. So, let the defense say, hey, what y'all gonna do about this? Let the defense set the tone. You know what I'm saying? 2 teams with 2 great defenses. Let's let them dictate the game. That's how I look at it, man. That's what we gotta go do. Just let's go focus on what we do well. That's it.
Hey, did y'all see? I didn't even notice as the Giants tweeted out the Jordan 4 retros with the yellow bottoms.
Yeah, you knew that was coming.
Yeah. They've been saving that tweet for 3 weeks. Wait to get that one though.
Oh man, what we got to do, Breeze? What's next up, man? What we got to do?
So we got high coach Breeze to call plays. We got to execute. We got to play smart football. We got to coach smart. We gonna ride behind Heineke. We all know what Taylor Heineke is. Let's not deviate from that playing too much. We know what we are good at offensively. Even though it bothers me so much that our receiving core is so good, but our offensive line and quarterback situation, we can't really get them involved in the game plan like that. It bothers me and it's mind-boggling. But we gotta be smart across the board. Coaches, players, any given Sunday, these are technically winnable football games. We are technically still in the playoffs right now. You know what I mean? But we can't try to reinvent the wheel going out there against anybody. All 3 teams that we have left to play have been beaten before. You know what I mean? Let's be smart and just execute. And for goodness sake, don't put it in a situation where the referees can potentially impact the game any more than they need to.
Well, Del Rio. Do we need him back, man, before this San Francisco game, or can we get tweeting Del Rio? Which one we need, man?
Man, we need Walt Del Rio. I mean, got to wake up again. He was sleeping yesterday, bro. But look, I know we've been talking about scoring and stuff like that. It's been a problem in red zone, but for this matchup this week, just give me 17 points. Because this is going to be a defensive game. It's going to be boring. It's going to be a lot of hitting. So for Scott, he has to stay within the offense, run the football, control passing game, keep it short. Don't make Heineke try to win the game for us. Manage the game, manage the clock. And if the play's not there, punt it away. Give your trust in your defense. Now, hopefully, we get St. Juice back because I think Ayuk is going to be a little bit of a problem in terms of route running and things like that. And George Kittle. If we can slow them guys down and McCaffrey out the backfield, usually from Washington's standpoint, we kind of hold McCaffrey down to like his career low numbers. But I think it might be a little bit different with how this offense is, especially how they want to play tricks with your eyes and stuff. But if we can hold them to 10 points, we score 17, I think we have a shot.
Yeah, man. We need to execute. We need to play clean football. We haven't played it in a couple weeks. We don't need to put the game in the referee's hands. Joey Slide needs to get out there and kick some field goals, more field goals in practice, because he's missing gimmies, and we need those. This team needs those because it's hard. We don't. For some reason, we just can't score within the red zone. So we need those 3 points at least. And we need Scott Turner to do better, right? Ron Rivera said today in his meeting that he talked to him. He told him, hey, we're a run first team, and I need play actions off the run. We need to run the ball. He said he had a conversation with Taylor last night telling him we need touchdowns in the red zone. One read, get out of there if it's not there. So I think those couple conversations is good. Last time we've heard he had those type of conversations, we all of a sudden we saw a different Scott Turner. So hopefully that'll be the case. But I think Taylor's going to use his legs more. I think he's going to take more chances in the San Fran game.
He had a chance.
Yeah, he made a business decision. I don't care what nobody says. He could have cut up at the 5, man. Like Thibodeau is a linebacker. He's not that, he can't stop and go. He was going full speed, trying to beat him to the pylon. He could have cut up at the 2. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where he started tripping because he saw Thibodeau coming, man. He could have cut that thing up, man, dive, whatever.
He saw number 5's like,
yeah, he made a business decision, man. But again, whatever. But I think he's going to take more chances this week because I think he knows Carson is breathing down his neck. So if he has another, if for some reason we lose and Taylor makes a few mistakes, I think they go to Carson. But again, as we saw yesterday, Carson was warming up as he always does. People out there, let me get this straight before we go. please, man, listen. At the games, during timeouts, game breaks, at the beginning of the year, when Taylor Heineke was the backup, him and Wentz throws the ball for warming up when they come back. When Wentz went out, Howell came as the number 2. He did the same thing with Heineke. And now Heineke is one. Wentz is doing the same thing. He's not out there warming up about to come in a game. That's just what the quarterbacks do during breaks. So please stop saying that he was out there warming up and you saw Taylor with a coat on. Taylor always puts a coat on when he comes to the sideline, man. So please.
Carson Wentz didn't even have his helmet on.
No, he didn't have his helmet nowhere near him, yeah. And again, he's overthrowing the guy he's pitching and catching to. So take that for what you want to take. He's still overthrowing people. So just take that. Last thoughts, Breeze.
Oh my goodness, man! Lock in.
Yeah.
Like I guess these are winnable football games, and literally, I hate to keep saying it, but we control our destiny. It ain't a pretty future right now with what we got in front of us, but we control it. You know what I mean? Be efficient, be effective, be smart, just execute. You know what I mean? It'll take care of itself, hopefully.
Breeze. CeeLo. There I go again. Hey man, look, I'm so tired. So
and what
yeah.
Bro, I was in meetings, yo. I was like, let me go off video for a second. Seriously.
Yeah, I had a couple early jumps, man. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, right. I'm like, let me go outside for a second. For me, it's attention to detail. Attention to detail. This team is too good, man. I know we got issues, quarterback, a little bit offensive line, but I feel like we really do control our own destiny. Like if we stick to what we know, and guys do their jobs, I think we'll be fine. And one minor thing, we need to start complaining to these refs, man. It's okay to be like, yo, Curtis needs to be like, yo, what the hell? I don't like, it's okay. Like do some of that stuff because other teams, that stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been taught based, we reflect our coach, right? We reflect our personality of our coach. Our coach is real, oh, well, yo, like Curtis gets up. He's like, okay, yo, like let the ref know this dude was draped over you. That's the last
I would have
play.
lost my mind.
Bro, Curtis is just like on the ground. Like, yo, at least let him know. Let it be worth it. It's a minor thing, but man, in football, man, that stuff be working sometimes, at least in the NFL. So that's all.
BT.
Man, look, the fight is not over. This is a punch in the face. Now we gotta throw back the haymakers. Big game next Saturday against a team that is arguably probably to be a Super Bowl contender, and you have an opportunity to go on the other side of the country and shock the world, because the same way how people saw the Giants as the underdog, they're going to see us as an underdog. And just take care of business, man. Play discipline, play clean, and just block. That's all I can. Just block, because them boys is coming.
We had the best players. We had our best O lineman was out there last week.
Listen, if you gotta leave Gibson or Robinson in the chip block or pass pro, whatever.
We're gonna have to go 13 personnel the whole game.
Hey, hold on, man. Hold on, man. I just realized something. And I'm so glad y'all say that. And this is about Scott Turner. Now, you saw on film how they were blitzing you and stuff, right? How they were coming off clean shots. Kayvon Thibodeau had a potential game-wrecking play the first game against you. And this was Kayvon Thibodeau's like coming out party on primetime. Shout out, like, brother can play. But at the same time, bro, what happens to all the chips we used to do with tight ends and running backs? Because I didn't see that. I didn't see that last night.
Can we just talk about how the tight ends have pretty much disappeared from the offense? Not just Logan, like all of them have virtually disappeared. Bates, Turner, like
they all look overmatched.
Let me see this stat, because I think I put it in here.
How did that Giants team lose 48-22?
They were ready for us, bro. They they was like, we ain't gonna be dumb.
We ain't worried about it.
That's crazy. That's a 68-point swing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they came out of that game. So, time to go handle business in DC.
Well, I can't find it right now, but if I can remember off the top of my head, last year we had 99 targets, 68 receptions. Red zone targets was like 55 or 19, something like that. And we had like 5 touchdowns. This year, completely way down. 46 receptions in the red zone and only 1 touchdown. That was Logan Thomas week 2. Actually, 2. Logan Thomas week 2 and John Bates. Like, no production from the tight end position this year. And of course, we had a conversation on one of the pods about Logan Thomas, and CeeLo is like on the hate club right now, man. He is slandering this man for the past 24 hours, bro.
Bro. He almost went for the hat trick. Drop ball, don't know how to get out of bounds, and got blown up. But I'm not gonna say he got blown up because I didn't see that. But
that was Cole Turner.
I know that. Yeah, I don't remember him blocking and having a failure there. But good Lord, Logan Thompson's having a bad year, bro. Bad year. Wasn't it last 2 weeks ago against the Giants when he had that series where he had like 3 penalties?
Yep,
bro.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm good on Logan. I like Logan like off the field, but
we like a lot of our players off the field. They're all good guys, and that might be the problem. But having said that, this has been owning the Huddle podcast with Breeze, CeeLo, DT, and Deuce. We thank you all out there for watching. This is Miserable Monday. We're all tired. Long night. But we got the 49ers coming up. We will see y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you.
Thank you for listening to Red Zone in the Lab podcast. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Red Zone in the Lab. And you can download our podcast at Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. And please visit our website at redzoneinTheLab.com. Thank you.